1. Currents of thought and women. The rigorous tendencies advocate the isolation of women and the total separation between the two sexes, arguing that the best situation for women is one where she does not see men and where men do not see her. They back up their vision with, a woman is only allowed to leave her home twice in her life, one to her husband's house, the other to his grave, and a woman's best friend is the grave, hiding her shame and warding off her temptation. These are obscurantist forms propagating the servility, infirmity and incapacity of the Muslim woman. This took him away from active life for a long time and continues to do so today despite the efforts made for the emancipation of the latter. Other currents defend the rights of women as well as those of men. They support the contribution of women in daily life with a view to her definitive emancipation. This current suggests that the emancipation of women is not only her own right, but also a necessity that society needs more than ever. Scriptural support abounds on this subject, since at the time of the Prophet, women came to complain about the ostracism of their husbands to him. He asked them to, quite simply, leave them in accordance with the rules of law. One of these women, Khala bint Thalaba, was discussing with the Prophet the subject of her husband. O Prophet! He consumed my youth, spilled my guts, until I reached old age, and no longer procreates. He threw anathema at me. The Prophet resumed the first answer. Then the woman said, O Prophet! I have children who will be lost if I leave them to him, and starving if I take them back. She continued to argue with the Prophet until the Quran immortalized her, Al-Mujadila, and her dialogue was recorded forever. Quran, the polemicist one. It should be noted in this dialogue scene, that the woman's point of view was fully taken into account after a long and delicate debate with the highest authority of Islam represented by the Prophet. She, in fact, considered that her husband's behavior was unworthy, ungrateful and unjust, following so much sacrifice on his part. This woman was strong, fair and courageous. It is she who must be approved and who must serve as an example for all Muslim women in the world. And not the insensitive, stamped, perplexed and frightened woman whom the partisans of decadence present to us as being the example of virtue and spiritual purity.